Alright, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kudash, double honor to our apostles and elders of GMS, and to the elect do the work in sincerity and the truth, shalawam. This GMS precepts, and there's our chud here. And real quick video, I got an article I want to bring out. I had seen a short, it was either on Instagram or YouTube, I can't remember. I tried to save it. Well, I thought I saved it. I tried to go back to it to help me with this video, but I couldn't, so I just had to Google it. What it was talking about was basically how the father, how the child belongs more to the, I'm sorry, how the child belongs more to the father than it does the mother, and they base that on on DNA, on the genetic material, right? Which, if you go in the scriptures, it is that's true, because the seed, man carries a seed, so I mean, obviously it belongs to both parents, but that seed is directly from the father, right? And I forgot the term they used, but it's based on um, is based on disease, right? Like if a child gets, if a child is born with a certain disease or ailment, diabetes or whatever have you, even though despite the child sharing 50% of the genetic material or the DNA from both parents, the father's genes or genetics are more dominant, right? And they just found out this study, right? So I got a few articles, I'm going to read through it, and I got one scripture, right? So this is from the Independent. You can see in the title, it says, "Why You're Almost Certainly More Like Your Father Than Your Mother. Paternal genes have been found to be more dominant than the paternal genes have been found to be more dominant than the maternal ones, right? Paternal, maternal. Paternal is father, maternal is mother, right? So it says genes from your father are more dominant than those inherited from your mother. New research has shown, but in this society everything's backwards, right? They give 100%, like say if there is divorce, or a situation where parents that are married, they want to split up, they automatically give custody to the mother, right? And they give no paternal rights to the father, right? And if the father wants it, they have to go to court and fight for it, right? But it says genes from your father, right? Genetically, it says what? Genes from your father are more dominant than those inherited from your mother, right? And that makes sense because, like I said, man carries a seed, right? So they can literally put that seed. You can be born in any woman, essentially, right? Because man carries a seed. Let me just bring this out, right? In Wisdom of Solomon. I was going to go to article, but this is Wisdom of Solomon 7:1, found in the Apocrypha. It says, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made on the earth, right? Offspring, It says, and funny, it doesn't say I'm the offspring of her, right? He says, I'm the offspring of him that was first made of the earth, right? It says, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted with blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep, right? So yes, you were in the mother's womb. Basically, if you want to call it the oven or an incubator, right? But that bun was placed in the oven, or that seed was placed in there by what? The seed of man. And when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is like of nature. The first voice which I uttered was crying, as all do others, right? So that's pretty much the seed. Every person born, they come from the seed of man. So that seed determines your your nationality. That's why in Numbers, um, a man's lineage is based, or a person's lineage, a child's lineage is based on the father. You know. Let me go back to this. Right. So it says all mammals, all mammals are likely to use the majority of genetic material passed down from males, even if offspring look and act more like their mother. According to the study on lab mice by University of North Carolina School of Medicine, this means that even though we inherit an equal amount of DNA from each parent, the paternal line, right, which is the father, paternal, is most likely found to govern how a person develops into an adult, especially in regards to their health, right? Right. So most people. So what that is saying is most people they they inherit more of, whether it's their personality or their characteristics. They inherit more of that from their father than they do their mother. And then it's especially in regard to their health, right? Meaning, if you have, if from your father's side, if diabetes is very prevalent, if cancer is very prevalent, any disease, there's a higher chance that you'll get it from your father than you would your mother, right? It said the findings could give scientists more insight into how diseases and conditions are caused by the expression of thousands of genes, of which several hundred imprinted genes, rather than out of the 95 initially thought, could be in favor of the father. You see? And like I said, that short that I couldn't find, it basically said, the woman arguing was saying, yeah, the kid, the child, belongs more so to the father than it does the mother, right? Which is true. I mean, it's like I said, I keep repeating it. Man carries the seed. You see? That seed can be placed anywhere, right? Um, Professor and author of the study paper Fernando Pardo Manual de Villena, whatever. This is an exceptional research finding that opens the door to an entirely new era of exploration in human genetics. The study on the offspring of 3 genetically diverse strains of collaborative cross mice is hoped to shed light on how mutations show up in complex diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and schizophrenia and obesity, right? And blah blah blah. So I'll leave this in the description. I got 2 more articles. Another one. Study finds father's genes are more dominant, right? Mothers always seem to take the blame for how their children turn out, but at least in one very important area, your father's to blame. Most people feel as though they look more like their biological mom or biological dad. They may even think they act more like one than the other. And while it is true that you get half of your genes from each parent, the genes from your father are what? More dominant, right? Especially when it comes to your health, right? So this is basically quoting the same, it's basically repeating the same thing. Researchers from the North Carolina School of Medicine discovered that this pattern in mice, and it could even have huge implications on how diseases are inherited. So, for example, if you inherit a bad mutation, it may have more of an impact on your health. It comes from your father than if it came from your mother, right? So that's big. Right? So one more article highlighted this, right? It says, mind you, I'll leave all these in the description. Study shows paternal genetics dominate. Remember, paternal is father. You have paternal, which is father for the father, and you have maternal, which is from the mother, right? Let me scroll down here. From thousands of mice genes that were analyzed, the research concluded that paternal genes play a much larger role than maternal. The copy of the father's genes were more active for nearly 60% of its baby's genes. This means that if an illness-causing mutation was inherited from the mother, the gene might be less expressed and the resulting disease could be less severe, right? So it's saying if you get a disease that's from the mother, it's not going to be as expressive, or it's not going to be as dominant or as severe if it came from your mother. If it came from your father, it's going to be more prevalent. It's going to be more expressive, right? So this is sort of a breakthrough. Mind you, this article is from damn near 10 years ago, right? So I'm sure they know more about this, right? So this is this will help them sort of diagnose certain illnesses if they know that, okay, the diseases are more, any illness is more expressive and it most likely came from the father than it did the mother, right? So, that's why it's good to find articles like this that give more validity to the scriptures, right? Because this is why in the scriptures, the child, you know, the child gets its identity from the father, right? As far as like its nationality and and whatsoever have you, right? So that's why I wonder what did Yahawashi say when he was cursing out Jake? He said, "Ye are of your father, the devil," right? Comparing them to Esau, but he didn't say you are of your mother, the devil, right? Why? Because biologically or genetically, the father's genetics are more dominant in a child, you know. So, all right, so that's pretty much it. Quick article, quick few articles, quick video. I'll leave them all in the description. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified. Until the next show, shalom.